Clinical AI DPIAs, Proportionality and Safeguards Explained. Welcome! In this micro lesson, we'll make Data Protection Impact Assessments, DPIAs, feel practical, not painful. A DPIA helps you assess privacy, ethics, and patient risk before your clinical AI goes live. It forces clear thinking: what data you use, who can see it, and how harm could happen. Done well, a DPIA shows regulators your controls are proportionate to the risks, neither overkill nor too light. Most importantly, it builds trust with clinicians, patients, and executives so you can deploy at scale without surprises. Let's turn compliance into a design advantage. Start with the legal landscape. You'll need to satisfy GDPR, UK GDPR, and any health-specific laws governing patient records and confidentiality. If your system influences diagnoses or treatment, expect medical device classification and obligations under the emerging AI Act standards. That means lifecycle risk management, transparency, and performance claims you can defend. Don't forget data ethics codes and clinical governance requirements. Think oversight committees, safety cases, and documented decision pathways. Map these to your product features and processes so your DPIA connects legal duties to real controls, not vague promises. Regulators look for proportionality. Your safeguards should match the impact of harm and the likelihood it occurs. High-stakes triage? Expect stricter controls than for an internal dashboard. Clearly separate direct care use, supporting an individual's treatment, from secondary use, research, service planning. Each path has different legal bases and consent expectations. In your DPIA, document necessity, why each data element is needed, and which less intrusive alternatives you considered and rejected. Show that your design reduces risk without undermining clinical utility. Right size, right risk. Be explicit about the clinical objective. For example, identify sepsis risk within 6 hours to trigger earlier review and reduce ICU admissions. Define measurable outcomes you'll track. Then set the lawful basis for processing and the condition for sensitive data, such as healthcare provision or public interest in public health. Explain when public interest applies and where consent has limits. Consent in clinical settings can be pressured or impractical for core care. If you do rely on consent, state how it's informed, granular, and revocable without harming care. List risks in the language clinicians use. Consider model errors, bias, and automation drift as data or populations change. Be specific. False negatives in stroke detection delay treatment. False positives drive unnecessary tests. Assess data quality, provenance, and linkage risks. Mismatched records can cascade into wrong alerts. Don't ignore human factors. Alert fatigue when notifications are frequent or poorly timed, and over-reliance when users trust outputs without critical review. Tie every risk to clinical scenarios, affected groups, and potential harms so mitigations are targeted, not generic. Translate risk into concrete safeguards. Use privacy by design, strict data minimization, role-based access, and pseudonymization where possible. Keep identifiable data at the point of care unless there's a clear need to move it. Build human-in-the-loop checkpoints with clear escalation pathways so complex cases reach senior clinicians. Maintain calibration, real-time monitoring, and audit trails for inputs, outputs, and overrides so you can investigate incidents and prove control. Document who reviews what, how often, and which thresholds trigger action. Make safety and privacy operational, not aspirational. Test for bias by subgroup, age, sex, ethnicity, Comorbidity, using predefined thresholds for acceptable performance gaps. When gaps appear, adjust data, thresholds, or workflows, and retest. Provide clinically meaningful explanations, not code internals. Show key features, confidence ranges, and why an alert fired in terms a clinician can act on. Ensure accessible information for patients and staff. Plain language summaries, risk-benefit notes, and routes to ask questions or opt out where applicable. Fairness, explainability, and access are not extras. They're core to safe adoption and regulatory confidence. Back claims with evidence. Run pre-deployment validation on representative data and document data safety reviews, DSRs, with clinical sign-off. After launch, track post-market monitoring via KPIs, calibration drift, alert to action times, outcome improvements, and incident rates. Define thresholds that trigger retraining or rollback. Commit to reviewing the DPIA at change or incident triggers, model updates, new data sources, workflow changes, or reported harms. Close the loop. Findings feed improvements, and improvements are documented. That's how you keep your clinical AI safe, effective, and compliant over time.